So we had a carbon monoxide leak, obviously unbeknownst to us in the building for, I don't know, hours, at least hours. It turns out that actually the majority of the exhaust from our boiler was pouring into the studio.
Yes, right where we're sitting right now.
Instead of venting out of the building like it should, and we had the door shut, and it was not a good situation.
It started off, I looked at Rach and I said, man, I don't know what's going on. I said, I'm starting to have heart palpitations. I'm feeling lightheaded. I mean, I almost for half a second thought, am I dying? Like, am I having a heart attack here?
I could tell Jeff was really not feeling good. And I noticed that I myself was feeling a little dizzy, had a little headache. But as soon as you said you felt bad, I thought, mine's fine.
Yeah,
it's just normal. It's just normal stuff.
You couldn't have that sympathy pain for me.
No. So we thought we were insane, though, because we were the only ones having these very extreme reactions to it. And everybody else was just like, I don't know, seems fun to me. Jeff, we have had a week, really a couple weeks in a row, but this week has been especially strange.
Oh, yeah, that's probably the best word. Honestly, I was sitting here thinking about this. So if you listen to our radio show, which, by the way, if you don't, you need to start listening, and you can do it really easy no matter where you are in the entire world, universe, or solar system. Just download the free Magic app and you can listen. So with that being said, we've got new software that we've been trying to learn.
Yeah, the thing that runs all of our music and ads and things like that, that's been replaced, and it's a good system. Our old one needed to be replaced. It was very old. We're not complaining about that.
Not at all.
It's just that we don't know how to run it yet.
Okay, so
and things aren't running like they should.
Right. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. When you watch this podcast, you can tell my eyes are always darting back over to the system to make sure that we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been one of those deals where just learning the muscle memory is the big deal. But then you throw in, so you got to be a little bit cognitive, right?
Right.
Then you throw in carbon monoxide poisoning, and it really becomes a show.
Yeah. So we had a carbon monoxide leak, obviously unbeknownst to us in the building for, I don't know, hours, at least hours. It turns out that actually the majority of the exhaust from our boiler was pouring into the studio.
Yes, right where we're sitting right now.
Instead of venting out of the building like it should, and we had the door shut, and it was not a good situation.
It started off, I looked at Rach and I said, man, I don't know what's going on. I said, I'm starting to have heart palpitations. I'm feeling lightheaded. I mean, I almost for half a second thought, am I dying? Like, am I having a heart attack here?
I could tell Jeff was really not feeling good. Like really not feeling good, because you don't say anything. You pretty much tough it out. There's a lot of mornings you just don't feel great. You don't even mention it. So I knew you were doing bad when he said that. And I noticed that I myself was feeling a little dizzy, had a little headache. But as soon as you said you felt bad, I thought, mine's fine.
Yeah,
it's just normal. It's just normal stuff.
You couldn't have that sympathy pain for me.
No, we can't be having the same things at the same time. That's just crazy.
So it kept getting worse, and we decided we got to get outside.
We were having the same symptoms at the same time. Yeah. So we left the building. Went outside for probably 5 minutes or so, came back in. It was immediately worse again.
Yes.
So we had our suspicions. I'm not going to say we were so dumb that we weren't like, oh, this is fine. There's not. We mentioned to a few people, hey, do you smell gas? We're both getting sick. We're having the same symptoms. This seems odd. And then it just continued to get worse and worse. We had a TV hit where we were supposed to be on News 9 to do what we do every week, hole in the headline, and I couldn't.
Well, we came in here and we did the tease.
We did, and we seemed normal on TV, but we were not normal behind the scenes.
And so as soon as the tease was over, we ran outside, and we were going to come back and do the hit. And I came back in, and Rachel basically just yelling down the hall, I ain't going to be there.
I cannot be on camera. Yeah. Not to be like alarming to everyone. I don't want to be like, we almost died. I mean,
well,
realistically, the potential was there for it to be much more serious than it was. And we definitely had things. But I was like, I can't go on camera. I'm physically shaking. My body's physically shaking too much. That's going to be a concern for viewers.
Right.
It's obvious there's something not right with me. So I wasn't going to be on camera. You only made it through the first question before you're like, hey.
Bolted.
Gotta go. There's a gas leak in the building. Yeah, I'm out of here. So we thought we were insane, though, because we were the only ones having these very extreme reactions to it. And everybody else was just like, I don't know. Seems fun to me.
You said it best. We were starting to feel like divas because we were the only, Our building doesn't have hundreds of people, maybe 50 tops.
I mean, and this was past where 8 o'clock. So there was probably, a good 20, 25 people in the building.
And none of them were feeling any of this.
No.
And we're literally laying out on the sidewalk of our building.
Groaning.
Right?
Like, what is wrong? So we were like, we did all the things. They called the gas company. The gas company came out. But as they showed up, I was like, Jeff, if they walk in there and they're like, there's no gas leak, what does that mean for us? What is wrong with us? Like, is there something happening like cognitively with us?
Yes.
There's sympathy pains, and I get that, but there's no way we're that connected that I'm feeling the exact same things you're feeling right now in this moment.
We're that much of a husband, work wife, and work husband. But here's the thing. When ONG came out, and again, our studio where we're talking to you right now from was the epicenter of this.
Yeah.
500, whatever they call
500 ppm is how that's bad.
Bad.
That's a lot to have in one room. Yeah.
When we heard that, we did a happy dance. And then I stopped for a minute and went, we shouldn't feel this way because they had to evacuate the building. But
not to be a jerk. I'm glad everybody else is fine. I didn't want everyone else to feel like we felt, but it was
justified.
It very much validated our okay, something was wrong. We're not losing our minds. We were actually being actively poisoned. It's not just it's not in our heads. So long story. For the record, company was great. Took us over to the ER.
Gosh.
Everybody took very good care of us and we're feeling absolutely fine. We have been medically cleared.
Yes.
All of those things. So we are out of any kind of danger. I don't want anybody to be alarmed, but it's very important you have a CO detector in your house or your business or wherever you are.
I was going to say,
throw
let's turn
that out there.
Let's turn this into a public service announcement. And if you start having these weird feelings like that, get outside immediately. In fact, my wife said it best. If you're feeling weird, don't worry about what everybody else is going to think or is feeling. You got to take care of yourself. And you're right. They call it the silent killer for a reason.
Well, and now that everybody knows there was a gas leak, we've talked to several people in the building that are now like, I did have a headache. It was pretty extreme and actually cognitively kind of feel like I was about 3 or 4 beers in and everybody was a little more loosey-goosey than they probably should have been on that Tuesday. So in retrospect, everybody was having experiences, but you go into work, you get headaches and you just don't think about it. It's just part of your day. And I think everybody was just like, oh, yep, came into work and got a headache. That's nothing new.
So the bottom line is just make sure that you guys take care of yourself and maybe walk around the house or especially your workplace and see if there's CO2, I guess, the detectors. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
CO detectors.
You should have some of those in your home. Also, I'm a little disturbed about how quickly I just was like, nope, I'm fine. You're sick. I'm fine. So I don't know if this is a woman thing or a human thing or just a certain personality thing, but maybe if you're really feeling something, you're feeling that and go ahead and take yourself seriously.
Yes.
I did notice that I kept running over things with Jeff. I'm like, is this happening to you? Is this happening? Because I didn't trust myself for it. So I don't know if that's a Rachael thing or an everybody thing or a woman thing or whatever, but maybe just trust your instincts. I caught myself telling Alyssa Burrito as she was walking in the room. I was like, I think there's a gas leak in there. So if you feel funny, walk out. You're not making it up, is what I said to her. I was like, I just want to let everybody know they're not making it up if you get sick, unless I'm making the whole thing up.
Well, it's really funny too, because she said, what does it say about my mental state? She goes, both of them warned me and I still walked on in just to get evacuated. So yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take gas leaks are very serious. Let's all take them very seriously.
Gas leaks for 1,000, please.
Maybe today, check the buttons in your house, make sure everything beeps when you press it and all the meters are working because it could have been bad news bears, but we're fine. It just led to a very exciting week, more exciting than we planned.
Right. I guess want to make sure everybody's okay because you and I came out on the good end of this.
Yes, absolutely. But in the course of this conversation, Jeff, you mentioned that, we're pretty close. Thought it might be sympathy pains, but that seems extreme. Well, I wanted to point out that we went to the RV show together last week. We had a remote out there live broadcast. So we went out and we decided, we're out here. We better check out a bunch of these RVs. Why wouldn't we?
Well, you want to have something to talk about.
Yeah, and they're awesome. Why wouldn't we just go walk through them? The thing is, apparently the way we were walking through them, everybody thought we were a couple. Every single person.
One of them.
Actually, even the people that recognized us as Jeff and Rachael assumed we were still a couple.
Yes.
And they all recognized us from TV and not radio.
Yes. Yeah. What does that say?
This was so bizarre. I know you can see our faces, so the correlation's there, but we are all over the socials for radio stuff.
You know what would be fun is if at some point people recognize us from this podcast and then we
that would be really
still have
weird.
To say, we have a radio show.
I think most often First of all, it's just weird to get recognized. I don't know if you people listening have a job where everybody's like, hey, are you that person? But that's just weird already. Not bad. You guys can still do that. Yes. But it catches you off guard as an individual. But I would say that mostly people recognize you first, most of the time. They'll recognize you. They may not recognize me at all because you've just been doing this longer. Forever. And you've been on TV longer than me. Yep. So we know where they came from if they call you Magic Man or not.
Yep.
Yesterday, we got recognized at the medical facility we had to go to get cleared to return to work. As soon as we walked in, oh, that's Magic Man.
No, she actually said, I know who you two are. I follow you on Facebook.
She never said my name.
Then she said, he's Magic Man. And then I thought it was funny too. She goes, and I don't even know if they call him that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, they still call me that.
He does get it a lot. You still respond to Magic Man.
Oh, I responded.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're giving out couple vibes. But I can't, we were walking through RVs like, I like this layout. I can make this work. Yeah, there's a lot of space in here. I really like this layout. But let's talk about some of those RVs. Amazing, right?
My gosh. And I was blown away. At some point I said, you don't even have to buy a house. You could buy one of these and still live in luxury. But then I started looking at some of those prices. It's going to cost you more. There was one in there that was pushing $500,000.
It's insane. It could sleep so many people. But
yes.
Wow. And then knowing that you need one that has a toy hauler. So you got to haul your expensive toys with your house.
Yes.
It's crazy to me.
Well, and what about the last one that we went into that had the Jack and Jill bedroom and bathroom kind of thing in an RV?
I'm telling you, tiny living might be where it's at.
Wow.
However, I'm in the wrong business. I can't afford it.
Are you kidding?
We did look at that little one. I was trying to determine if I could live in the one that's about the size of our station van.
Yes.
Our promotions van. Yes. That's like, one of those child, you want candy van size.
There were several that we looked at, but there was one for sure that was, I don't even know what they were. There was no way you could even spend 5 minutes in that one.
It wasn't very well laid out. It makes a big difference.
But the other one was like, yeah, totally.
So basically I need to get an RV. If anybody wants to buy me one, I got a lot of different options that I think could make work. We walked through a few that are like, yeah, I can make that work.
Yeah, we can make that work. I got a pop-up tent if you still want it.
Yeah, okay. So, Jeff, we got a little sidetracked this week with getting poisoned. Was there anything else that we needed to discuss?
I don't know that my brain is back 100% yet. So I'm just going to say I don't know.
Okay. I did have one other observational thing that I just noticed from my life, and I want to know if you're this type of person. We have an event coming up that we were invited to, and it's like a fancy dinner or charity thing. So I invited my friend Beth to be my +1, and her first question was about the food. What's the food going to be? What's the spread here? When I mentioned where it was, the Cowboy Hall of Fame, she was like, wait, how they get food in there? They got a kitchen in there? I was like, you are asking a lot of questions about food. That wasn't my first thought when we were invited, was to immediately ask about the spread. Yeah. Where's that food coming from? Who's it making? How much do I get to pick a plate? Which one do we get? When you're invited to an event, is your first thought like, what's the spread like there?
Nope. I will tell you straight up, especially if I know dinner's going to be served, I just figure, hey, it's a crapshoot.
It's a free dinner, so you're happy.
There was a time back in the day, and I don't remember if this was high school. Anyway, there were several banquets I had to attend, and it seemed like every banquet was having the same chicken Kiev dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Chicken Kiev. What a random choice.
Right, and it's basically just stuffed chicken.
It sounds fancier
it is. It's just basically
that
stuffed
way.
Chicken.
Well, yeah, she went as far as actually looking up the whole event, trying to find it. Apparently, there's going to be a few different plates we can choose from. I don't think this is the worst approach. Mm-hmm. I love a person that always asks about what the spread was like there.
I just think that's funny.
And she's always the person that's like, we need to make the charcuterie tray, but we have to decorate it like fancy. Like, like we know you did our Hocus Pocus one where you had the Sanderson sisters charcuterie tray.
But no, we're going to an event. We actually get to not have to do all that.
I know, but I'm just saying, she's a girl that really loves the details and putting the extra effort into the food and having a delicious meal along with the event. And I don't think that's a bad way to go. I think I need to consider the food more often.
Really?
I just accept this food. I don't even think about, where's it coming from? How good is it going to be?
Because look, you've been invited to this event. What if you don't like the food? It's not like you can change it.
Jeff, I found it.
Uh-oh.
Do a filet on a bed of peppercorn sauce. Ooh. Chicken burgundy on a bed of fingerling potatoes. Asparagus, carrots, peppercorn cream sauce.
See? We're not going to go wrong.
Oh, they've even got dairy-free options, gluten. You got vegetarian options. Ooh, we're even getting a dessert: salted caramel cheesecake with chocolate sauce and fresh berries, or a chocolate truffle mousse with chocolate sauce and fresh berries. Now that I've told you what we're eating, are you a little bit more excited about the event?
It didn't really change my. Sure. Yes, I guess. Is that what you want to hear?
Peppercorn cream sauce.
I know.
That sounds delicious.
You need to screenshot that and send it to Beth so she'll calm down.
Oh, don't
calm
worry.
down.
She already looked it up.
Okay. Wow.